Sharkie Game here. Welcome to episode 3 of Prototypes and Unreleased Controllers. So in today's video we're taking a look at the Splitfish GlideFX controller. So GlideFX was going to be made for PS2 and it was going to be made by Splitfish. And of course Splitfish is known for making dual two-piece type controllers. This one was going to be a little bit different. Instead of a mouse and joystick controller like the EdgeFX, which if you want to see the EdgeFX, I have done a review on my channel, so go check that out. The GlideFX was going to have a trackball and joystick split across two control units, one for each hand. And of course they were trying to make a controller that allowed for more accuracy, as well as being a lot smoother with using the trackball in all types of games. So first, let's take a look at the official description of the GlideFX. This description was from the Splitfish website when it still had the GlideFX listed under Gameware. So let's take a look at the screenshot of the website. So this is a screenshot of the Splitfish website when it featured the GlideFX controller. So first off, you can see some images there of the controller. So you can see sort of a front image as well as a side/back image. And then below that it says GlideFX controller for the PlayStation 2, the world's first B-type controller. GlideFX has a trackball to manage movement that is normally controlled by the right analog stick. The two-part controller features adjustable button sensitivity. Now I know it says the trackball manages movement, but I think by that they mean it's the equivalent of movement of the right joystick of a standard controller, which is what you use to aim with. Which means the trackball would have definitely been used for aiming in most games. Other games might use it for different functions. You can also tell by the screenshot that it was originally announced at E3 2006 Expo, and on the site it said January 1st 2007 release. This release never happened and the date got moved to October 7th, but still it never got released. There was also another description that was on the German website. I've translated it, and it says, GlideFX controller for PlayStation 2. The GlideFX controller consists of two separate control units, and the world's first controller for PlayStation 2 with a trackball. The speed of the trackball can be easily adapted, and therefore almost predestined for flight simulations. All buttons and stick within easy reach. The GlideFX is a real sensation for modern games. So in that description they mentioned flight sim games. This is because the controller was designed to play games other than shooters. Even though in theory if you could get used to aiming with the trackball, it would work very well with shooters. Alright, so now that we have covered the official descriptions, let's have a closer look at the controller and its features. This is the Splitfish GlideFX. When I first saw this image I thought this looked amazing, and I was thinking this would be awesome to use with all types of games, and perhaps even shooters. It has this white and black color scheme, typical of the Splitfish products for PS2. And it also has the Splitfish branding on both pieces of the controller. On the left-handed controller there would have been a select button, and on the right-handed controller there would have been a start button. We can tell by the cable just here that this would have been a wired controller. There is a D-pad here, within easy reach of your thumb. Here is the left analog stick that would also have clicked down. This would have been used for your character's movement in most games. Here are your function buttons, square, triangle, X and circle. These look very nice and large and look like they would have been nice to press and use. They are on easy reach of your thumb, but this would also mean you would be lifting your thumb off the trackball to press them. Having said that though, I think these buttons would have been easy touch buttons with immediate response, so that you press them quickly with minimum effort and then move your thumb back to the trackball. Now onto the main feature, the trackball. So here it is. It would have been a small trackball so that it was easy to control with just your thumb. You would also have been able to move it around and aim in the game just like you would use a mouse or trackball on PC. The trackball would have given a lot more accuracy and would have been smoother than using the analog stick. In the description of this controller, it was also mentioned that the sensitivity could be adjusted for player preference. And lastly, the controller would have these back bumper buttons, easy to reach and easy to use at the same time as moving the left joystick and using the trackball. Now looking at the controller, I still see its potential to be great at multiple types of games. It looks like it would have been comfortable to hold, though the down point would be, back in the PS2 days, Splitfish products were very cheaply made, so it begs the question whether they would have a higher build quality with this one. So that was the Splitfish GlideFX, a dual two-piece controller that incorporated a trackball for more accurate aiming and smoother experience when controlling your games. You could almost say it was meant to help you glide through your games. This was never released. It was featured in the Splitfish website for a number of years before eventually they took it off. It was originally thought that the reason they delayed the release initially was because they had changed their plan to make it for PS2 and were now going to make it for PS3. But nothing ever got released. And eventually PS3 just got the FragFX mouse controller as well as the dual frag SFX evolution. The GlideFX just seemed to disappear. Perhaps they were having issues with using the trackball with the console, and perhaps it did not work well with PS2 or PS3. No one really knows exactly why it was cancelled. But that is another interesting and unique controller that is not released. Such wasted potential of what could have been a great controller. I know I would have bought it had it been released. So that is episode 3 of Prototypes and Unreleased Controllers. I am Sharkie Gamer. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, as I'll have heaps more gaming controller and accessory videos up very shortly. And of course, feel free to leave a comment down below if you want to, and if you like this video, hit that like button. It really helps out a lot, guys. Thanks for watching.